What, what, well, welcome. Welcome to you all. They are all very quiet. My name is Maya. I am from the gods. I have many. What have we here? What have we here? Just a little adjustment before I start. It is wonderful to share not only the energy of the people in the room, but also their spirit helpers, you understand. This room is much busier than you think. You have. And many of you often wonder why you have not met your guide. Do you? Some of you wonder why you feel guided, yet you do not know that energy that walks beside you almost every second of every day, guiding you to those who are going to take you to the next chapter, the next part of your life. The next part of your life. It has been a rather traumatic time for many of you in here, facing things that you thought were buried in the past. Has it not? I would like to hear the voices. It seems like one thing after another, and can be quite exhausting, you understand.
Yeah.
Why we feel we have come so far, yet there are roadblocks and obstacles. There is a gentleman in this room that I have my eye on. Oh, he counts very much. and is a wonderful facilitator to spirit, you understand. Yet there is one in this room, the one who has come so far, yet seems to still be faced with the obstacles of the past, and can sometimes feel very frustrated, and also wants things to happen now. They do not always work like that.
Yeah.
You both write, do you not? You both write. And you both are writing in a very different way. I know so. One is using their past to heal. Both of you in your different individual ways. Yet the gentleman right at the back more to do with what you see as fact rather than fiction, you understand.
Yes.
And the other gentleman is writing fiction around fact, you understand.
Yes.
Writing is a very important way of expressing yourselves. You all write in your own individual way. You all write in your own individual way. Whether that is writing a physical book or writing a diary of events, or writing information for many people across the world to be able to access. There are books in many of you here. There are books in many of you here. And then you have your own books, you understand, like they call the Akashic Records. You are familiar with these? So you have read them? Or haven't you? They are accessible to each and every one of you. Yet the human form and the human brain are so conditioned to the fact that you have to follow a way or follow a system. You have to conform. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Hands up who feels like they have to conform. Who wants to throw away that system? Many of you. For many of you, you like to compare yourselves to others, feeling that some are much more evolved or better than you. Why? You are all individuals on an individual journey, you understand. You should not be comparing yourself to the next man or the next woman. You should not compare yourselves to any. which sounds a little hypocritical, as even in our realms there are hierarchies, you understand. Yet nobody is judged. They just be. They exist in their own dimensional world, in their own dimensional world and existence, to the role that they have agreed to undertake, depending on how highly evolved these beings are. And there are many of you that have gone through these periods of having these past experience slapped around your face like a wet fish until you understand that they are ready to be faced and then dissolved, you understand. Mistakes are literally experience. Choices have led you to where you are now and today. There are quite a talented bunch in here, Beverly, including yourself. Why blush when you hear the truth? Many are very unaccepting of compliments. We find them quite uncomfortable. Yet we have to remember that man and woman around you see you for what you are and for what you perceive and for what you believe. And the more your light is shining, the more the many will be attracted to your light. Like that moth that flutters around the light bulb. You are that light bulb, and you will see the moths. Moths are quite beautiful beings, you know, and very spiritual. Like the butterfly, not quite as attractive. Yet some of you would perceive yourselves as unattractive. But inside, you are the same as the butterfly, just not quite as much as a show-off, which makes me feel humbled to be around the moth. Not known for their beauty, yet they still have gone through such a transformation to become that moth, you understand. Some of you will be moths and some of you will be butterflies. Some will see their beauty and their worth, and some will know their worth before their beauty, you understand. Okay. What would you like to talk about?
May I ask a question, please?
Good evening.
How spirit guides and helps the mediums and the channels that they go to work on this plane?
I only had this conversation the other day. You understand that some beings on this earth are so much more evolved than others, you understand.
Yes, it is.
Some are at the start of their journey and some very much living the life. I have chosen this medium, for example, because she is very accepting of my energy. She does not fight me. She lets me work how I need to work and accept that. You may, when she is not sitting like this, see her as quite a simple soul. And she is quite a simple soul, not judgmental. Her aim is to help, to guide, to love, to teach. Yet many of her teachings are our teachings, just through a channel, you understand. And it depends upon the work that you are being guided to take on. Healers, for example, the guides that will be working with them, some have led an earthly existence as maybe medics or doctors themselves. Some may even have extraterrestrial influences, as they are so much more evolved than ourselves, so much more involved in the healing and teaching of the new ways. That is why some healers are quite extraordinary, where the conventional has not maybe worked. Some of our high guides, highest guides, can. And as life goes forward and life goes on, you will see new ways of working. You will see healing, even without touch. You will see healing in a very different way. And there will be those genuine healers that are working with such high guides that there is no scientific evidence of how that has worked, you understand? So we have to match, if you like, the guide to the healer, the reader, the psychic, the trance medium, the physical medium, depending on the energy that they give off, depending on the height of evolutional state that they are currently in. And you understand, do you not, that guides change? Guides change. Why do they change? Why do they change? As you evolve. You are perfectly right. Some guides are with you in the background for the whole of your existence. And not just this existence, previous, parallel, future existences. And some come as teachers, for example. I have said this before. When you went to preschool or nursery, for example, you leave that after a certain time, and then you move to the next school, the infant school or the primary school, where the teachers are more evolved in your teaching, you understand. And after the primary school, then you will attend the secondary school, and then the college, and then the university, for example. And then we are thrown into the university of life. Sometimes we struggle with that one, do we not? When we have to make our own decisions, for example, or choose in which way, shape, or form that we are going to carry on our existence. Just as you people in this audience may have joined a group or an organization to learn. On our side, for example, we have guides that are also in education, you understand. And they move to the person that we advise for their own spiritual growth. Did that answer your question?
Thank you, yes, very much so. Thank you.
I do hope that I didn't go off the boil.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Anybody else?
I have a question.
Hello.
How can we help the planet to move beyond fear?
First of all, you have to stop fearing yourself and start making up your own mind. You are referring to the current viruses, are you not?
Yeah, partly.
Partly, and the fact, like I said before, there is a huge, how can I say this? There are organizations within this world, whether they are connected to the media, connected to the government, connected to the forces, the special forces, groups and organizations who will have different understandings, varied understandings, or control of what is put out to the world. And unfortunately, when one is scared and another is scared, it has quite a domino effect, does it not? We feel like we should be scared. Everybody else is scared, so why shouldn't we? What exactly are you scared of, my dear?
That's a good question.
What do you fear? Do you fear rejection? Do you fear your future? Do you fear leaving things behind and moving forward? Do you fear disease? What do you fear?
It's the unknown that can make you feel fearful.
The unknown in which capacity? There are two things that are certain. You are born and you die. They are certain, you understand. What we make of the middle part is rather up to you. where we push ourselves, how we push ourselves, believing in ourselves, and sometimes believing that fate is a thing. Some things you are able to manipulate, you understand. Some things you are able to make a choice about. Yet those things, in our eyes, are quite minimalistic, you understand. You can make a choice for them because they do not really matter. If we have a vision for you, you understand. If we have a vision for you in going forward, you will get there whether you go the fast way or the slow way, the quick way or the pretty way, Richard. Everybody gets where they need to go, whether in this life or the next. Yet most of you will get where you need to go spiritually in this life. What you have to do, though, is stop caring about things that do not matter. Fear is an obstacle. And fear is an obstacle that we put in our own ways, you understand. If I do this, what if it doesn't work? What if I do this? What if no one likes it? What if I do this and it fails? Yet has it failed, or have you just learned that you need to go around it in a different way? You never fail, you only learn. And unfortunately, your own worst critics are usually the person that stares back at you in the mirror, you understand. Not the person sitting next to you. And we have to stop fearing what everybody else thinks. We have to stop fearing life. And we should certainly stop fearing death. Death is a transition just from one energy to the next. That is all. I have no idea if I answered your question.
Certainly helped. Thank you very much.
Fear, like time, is just an illusion, my dear. Just an illusion. If we fear money, we block the flow, you understand. And you have to stop fearing money, my dear. It will come. Anybody else?
Yes, please, if you don't mind. Good evening. Thank you for your time this evening. I've been in mediumship for quite a few years, quite a lot of years. When I am meditating now, I feel that I'm starting to move into the transition stage, but because I'm at home on my own, I get a little bit edgy as to whether I should allow it to happen or not. Wonder if you could enlighten me on that, please.
Yes, I would love to. You will be in no danger, my dear. You are already aware of the guides working around you, are you not?
Yes, I am, thank you.
I know. There is a gentleman called Thomas who stands with you also. You will never be alone. When you sit like that, invite the guides that you know to blend with your energy. Invite them to blend. It sounds so strange that I say, ask your spirit guides for a time limit. Ask them to take you for 30 minutes, for example, and do what they need to do with you. Now, when I say this, it is nothing to fear. When they are moving close and you are starting to work more in the altered state, it is a good time for you to sit and for them to download the information that you need to move on to the next level. You will feel them. You may even have a lapse of time where you feel like you disappeared for a while. And that is nothing to fear either. They will not abduct you, you understand. You will not be flying around a vortex of black for the rest of your life. They are just working with you to move you to that next level. They need to blend and they need to test your resistances, and they need to test how they blend to us. And when the medium lets us work like that, it feels very fluid. It feels like we are one. We are working together. Two becomes one. You are the vehicle, and we are the driver for a while. We are the driver for the while. For your own peace of mind, it may be appropriate to ask a friend to come and sit with you for a while until you are used to the energy. And you have somebody that you can ask, do you not?
Yes, I've got plenty of people, thank you.
This is for your own peace of mind. When you are comfortable with the process, you will be able to sit in the power and advance at your own rate. My vehicle here now sat for a long, long time. A long, long time. And the trust between the vehicle and the driver is at the ultimate stage right now. Trust and letting go of control are imperative in this work. It is remaining in control, yet releasing your control. And you human beings do like to be in control, do you not? It is quite a scary thing to let go and trust and feel like you are not just yourself. Not just yourself. Then know this. There is a lady at the back, and she has brown hair and it is curly.
Yeah.
Not that one. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I was just looking around the room and then I came across you. "4 months' time, my dear, 4 months' time, and you will have the answers. You have been wondering rather a lot about where you fit into the world, have you not?
Yes, I do.
Your healing will go certainly up to the next level. You will start to understand where the traumas and the pain have derived from on the body. It will certainly be going up a level. Certainly be going up a notch. One day, my dear, you will be teaching what you know. You just do not believe it yet. Sometimes you fear feeling, do you not? There has been times in your life where you have felt so much pain. And sometimes you do not like feeling like that, especially when it is somebody else's pain. You will understand what I mean soon. It is nothing to fear. Each and every one of you has been on rather a large journey of your own, and it only assists in the empathy when working with others. Those in pain and those who are having challenges within their lives. You will often be bombarded with those people that have very similar existences as yourself. And some of you will be exposed to people that will help you to the next level because they understand where you have been, even if they do not tell you. In a moment, I just have to temporarily bring this medium back into the room. It is a temporary thing. The body is just getting a little tired as it is rather dehydrating. We need to hydrate. She will not quite be with it, so just bear with this. You can see the energy.
Yeah.
You saw 3.
Yeah.
Interesting. When you see them moving around the medium in that way, they are those who are waiting, you understand.
Yeah.
Often when the medium starts to talk, or we are talking through the vessel, you will start to see them less. You understand this?
Yes.
That is because they have chosen who is coming into the energy and who is going out, or those who are standing behind, for example. That is why I do beg your pardon. For example, if you are just sitting upon these sofas and just minding your own business with the camera, you will see us dancing around your heads, waiting. Anything else before I let a little one in? Yes.
You mentioned about extraterrestrials. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Shouldn't you be telling us?
What did you mean? Why should I be telling you?
What would you like to know about extraterrestrials?
I'm interested in how they work and help us with our healing. And how do we know if we are connected to them?
There is much that I could tell you, yet I'm reluctant to while there is some things I cannot say under the circumstances. Yet there are some things that I can. When earlier I was referring to the guides that are chosen for certain people, not everybody that walks this earth plane are pure human blood, you understand. Some are hybrid. Some are a mix of two. Like you would mix a race, for example. You can mix a race and you can mix energies from other dimensions. Just for example, slightly going off the boil. You have heard of a demigod. Have you heard of a demigod?
Yes.
And what is a demigod?
Half God, half human.
And I am just choosing my words carefully. There are those who are very drawn to extraterrestrial energy, for example. There are those who believe very much that there are higher energies that we know nothing about. Yet you are really attracted to this subject, you understand. Some might feel that they go to another country, for example, and feel like they have lived there for the whole of their lives. They feel at home there, you understand. And there are some human beings who feel extremely alien upon this planet. They do not understand this planet. They do not understand why they are here. They feel like they have just been dropped like a baby bird out of their nest, plonk onto the floor. I do hope you all understand what I am getting at here. You cannot feel at home somewhere if you are not really at home. Yet you are hybrid if you are hybrid for a reason. We have varying intelligences, and those that we may hear, you might say, rattling on, that spiritual ha-ha, ya-ya. They do not know where they are. And you are listening to a conversation that they are having, and you do not understand a word that they are saying, yet they know exactly. In the past, in the very old time, many have been thrown into what you would call the loony bin for such behavior. Yet are they mad? Or have they just got such a high intelligence that they are beyond this world? Like what I said about conditioning, for example. You are told what to do, what to wear, how to behave. You are told you're too fat, or you're too thin, or you're too tall, or you're too short. You're too kind. How can you be too kind? That one always gets me. How can you be too giving? You can never give enough. You will always be rewarded. We have to fit into a box, and some are brave enough to push out of that box. You, my dear, you are very much being attracted to where home is, you understand, through words and through meditation. It is nothing to fear. It is a higher intelligence. You just do not understand it yet. And boy, will it be useful in your future. Making up your own sounds. You'll be making up your own sound. And you will find yourself chanting a language that you do not even know existed. The old language, I say. You're welcome. That is quite an interesting conversation, is it not? I rather impressed myself with that one. Isn't it interesting, for example? Are you tired, my dear? There is a lady on the floor. You may join me if you like.
I'm quite listening to you. Very intriguing.
Have you ever wondered back thousands and thousands of years ago when man made certain buildings, for example?
Have I ever wondered?
Has anybody ever wondered?
I often wonder about temple pyramid in Egypt.
I know, I was listening to your mind.
There's the alien connection.
Oh, yes. There have been tablets and scriptures found many, many, many moons ago that actually have a detailed map of the universe and planets that they could not maybe know about or understand, or different dimensions. How on earth, all of those many years ago, could they build something so complex? Without a higher knowledge, without maps, without plans. How would you get those stones, one on top of each other, so perfectly? And where they sit, and what they are attracting. There is a point where the sun sets and the points meet. That is a very interesting place to be. Very interesting place to be. I do hope some of these conversations aren't going right over your head. If you need to hydrate, you may. Oh, Beverly, there's a dead woman on the floor.
Back to life, don't worry.
Night, night.
I'm still awake.
Somebody took a blanket.
I will go.
I'll wake you up. even sweating. Guess.
I already know. I don't need to guess.
What's my name, lady? Yeah. Hello. I'm the intelligent one. Aren't I?
Of course. Yeah. How old are you now, William?
8. Is everybody dead?
No.
Say 8 or 80.
80. Oh my goodness. Not 80. Oh. Richard. Is he sleeping?
He's awake.
Why is he quiet?
Busy with his buttons over here. Filming you, William.
Richard,
Hello.
there's lots of really good-looking women in here. Just saying.
Have you got any profound words of wisdom for us, William?
Probably not. But
William, do you know
the young boy that
comes into this
comes
room?
into this room
yeah,
sometimes?
he's a little bugger.
You know his
You know
name?
his name?
Bobby Evans.
Bobby Evans.
How come you know,
How come you know of him then?
Because he's sitting next to you.
Okay.
Where does he come
from?
I'm just looking. Not far.
So Bobby's
So
in
Bobby's in this room then,
saying he is.
saying he is.
He go in front of
He
the
go
camera
in front of the camera so we can see the energy.
Call him. He sits. Call him.
Bobby.
Louder.
Yes, you're when.
Can you do it again?
Can you do it again?
I don't know, ask him.
Bobby.
Bobby.
Do it again, please, Bobby.
Next to me, Bobby. See you all.
He likes you, Richard.
Most people do.
The other way round.
The other way round.
What does he want?
What is
Bobby,
Bobby,
what do you
Bobby,
want
what do
here?
you want here?
Tell
Would you tell
William?
There's some mediums in this room. Ask him to talk in their heads.
Did you find your
Did
ball?
you find your ball? Bobby?
Boom, boom, boom.
I'm here all week with lots of tickets.
Don't give up your day job, Richard.
Well, that's crossed my mind a few times.
Did you say it was bouncy? Ask him to bounce it now. Ask him to bounce the ball.
Bounce the ball, please, Bobby.
Keep asking.
Bounce the ball, please, Bobby.
Bobby, can you do what
Bobby,
you
can you do what you did the other night? Bounce the ball in front of the
please?
camera, please.
Pull the orb.
Pull the orb.
Show that you actually
Show that you actually bounced.
Did he do it?
No.
No.
Please, Bobby. There you go. Can you do it again? We forget.
They're not asking much, are they, Beverly? Because you're a medium, you don't. Beverly, I love you.
I love you too.
Could Bobby
Could Bobby come through to the medium
so we can hear it?
so we can hear him himself?
I don't know. I'll try. Hang on. Do you know Beverly?
I do, yeah.
Come and sit with me.
You really need to sit.
Yeah.
Play dinner.
Beverly,
Yes, William.
just go with it and see if Bobby can show his face on your face. Let's see what we can do. Because I can't be two places at once. Beverly, you smell nice.
A bit nice for you, William.
You smell like summer meadows and daisies. I'm really sorry, but somebody's bum keeps coming in my head.
It's me, ma'am.
And she keeps giving me some daffodils for somebody in here. Because she likes her daffs. And she liked the garden. And she keeps showing me gardens. And she keeps saying rose, 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 rose. Does anybody make sense of this?
Maybe. I do.
She just wants to say she loves you. But sometimes she didn't say it much, did she? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
because she didn't. She said she was a bit emotionally retentive. But she did, and she wants you to know.
Again.
Yeah.
I'm a bit scared.
Why?
I've not done that before.
It's Bobby.
I'm a bit scared, William. Where's my mum?
Do you want to hold my hand?
My mum.
It's all right. Listen. It's all right because your mummy's up in the light.
Oh, no.
No, but she will because she's just coming to get you.
I want my mum.
Listen. Just calm down. Stop. Listen. There's a lady that does good singing. Can you do good singing, please? Can you do some good singing? What's your favourite song, Bobby? Sing. Did you like it?
I lost my ball in the sea and my mum got really mad at me. I think Richard's got my ball. My feet are all wet, buddy.
It's all right.
You've had no tea today. I'm hungry.
Bobby,
Yes, William.
listen.
Yes, William.
Just listen in your bed.
Brother Johnny with my mum. I don't know where my dad's. Just me here. I get a bit scared sometimes. I like Rick because he's really friendly.
Do you want to go up to them with your mum?
I want to see my mum. It's scary things on your own.
What I want you to do is step back out of the lady now, and I will help you later. Step back out of the lady. And I will help you later, yeah. You listening? I want the lady back, and I want you to step back, and then I'll sort you out later. Bye.
Oh, William, what have you done to me?
It weren't me. Are you all right now?
Yeah, fine, thank you. I think I'm going to go and sit next to Richard now. It's safer over there.
I bet nobody else wants to sit next to me now, do they? Little boy, he all right? You know yet? I will take him. I'm going to do it now. So if you just watch the telly and relax for a minute. And I want you to tell me when he goes up, right? Have you seen him yet? He's gone now. Is everybody all right?
Yeah.
He can still come and play. He can still come and play now. But just not now. Just not today. One of you people here had a little baby boy, didn't you, that didn't make it?
Yeah.
He's just here for you, my love.
Yeah.
He wants you to know he's always in your heart. And he's growing up with you.
Thank you.
And he loves you so much. Are you happy?
Yeah.
Good. He wants you to know that you're doing the best you can. And it wasn't nothing that you did. He just had to go. But he's like a little angel.
Thank you.
And sort your garden out. tissues now, Richard?
No, not really. Because Polly bought some as well.
Save some money.
Always good to be prepared,
That is true.
just in case of a national emergency. Or even an international one. There's two daddies called David here. I'm making a funny face. It's like I'm sucking a lemon. I don't know why it's not in my control. Has anybody got an intelligent question for me? Liam? Liam?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Your grandma keeps moaning in my ear.
Saying.
Nothing, she just like moaning.
She's like moaning, yeah.
Bye. Love you. Bobby's gone up. He's fine. But he'll be back on.
When he comes back, will he still be fine? Will he be unhappy?
No, he's all right now. He just got lost. Since 1933.
Wow.
Let everybody know that we had it here last night. And one of the meetings actually said the 1933, if you remember rightly. And we spoke about Polly Harnett. And Polly wasn't here. That was Lulu, wasn't it?
Yeah.
invitation ball into the sea.
William, do you know what colour Bobby's ball was?
You know, don't you?
I don't know.
Tell me.
I think it's red.
It was. But it was painted wood.
Yeah.
Out of interest, I may ask, did he
lose
and fall and die the same day, or did he get older and just held on to that time period? That was horrible for him.
Let me look. He didn't die in the water. He died. That was when he was 4 that the ball went in the water.
Oh. He was remembering something that was quite upsetting. At the end of his life.
It's because his mummy went first. I must be honest, I'm getting a little bit knackered.
Thank you for coming.
You are coming to the conclusion that as one leaves, you are seeing, you understand. And as one enters, you also feel or see. This is quite insightful for some of you that have not had access to this type of media before. Quite an interesting experiment. A very interesting experiment. And leading you all to the knowledge that there is so much more than you could ever know. And that is why I must again reiterate the importance of trust. And not having a meltdown when something isn't working straight away or taking too long. There is an element of time that has to pass between one event and the next. There are lapses of time where you feel slightly debilitated or things are getting in the way of your progress. Yet, this time is never wasted. If you let this happen and let it be and listen to the fact that sometimes you may have to retreat to grow. You understand what I mean? Sometimes we have to step back, because in that time of stepping back, we are growing and evolving more than we could ever know. No time is ever wasted. And time, my dears, is never still. It is an energy that exists in so many different ways and shapes and forms. Just believe it and feel it. Believe it and feel it. And retreat, grow. When you are ready, we'll pluck you out and put you where you need to go. Add the missing pieces of the jigsaw, if you like. Add the pieces of the jigsaw to the puzzle of life. Do not ever feel. Do not ever feel that you must quit before the miracle has occurred. There are few people in here that need to understand this. Do not quit before the miracle has occurred. Time lapses are growth. We have to get it right. Nothing is wasted. It is all a journey. The biggest journey is into our souls. The biggest journey is looking into ourselves, into our souls. Anything else? My children, that you would like to know?
Can I just ask a question?
You may. Yes.
I've been told I've got a block, a barrier up. How do I get that down? I was wondering.
This question always makes me smile. And who, my dear, without naming names, told you that you have a block? Was it another medium?
It was a Reiki master.
Okay. Right. When you open the newspaper, do you believe everything you read?
No. Gullible though.
Maybe when somebody that says you have a block is unable to access the block, then they will just say you have a block per se. Yet, when the right person or the right teacher or the right energy blends with yours, in whatever capacity that is, you will realize that you never had a block in the first place. You just have an analytical mind, you understand. You like proof. And many do like proof. And then forget to trust. All you have to do, my dear, is trust and believe. There is no block, only those that you have put upon yourself. So if you put your own blocks there, who is the best person to remove it?
Myself.
Exactly. I think I have answered that question.
Thank you very much.
We are experimenting with the medium's face today. We are experimenting with the eyes. There is a blindness, even though you can see they are partially open. He cannot see you. He can only feel. Quite a day for experiments, I feel. Quite a day. I would just like to reiterate that the small boy that tried to channel, he is perfectly fine. He is now where he needs to be to grow. He is now where he needs to be to heal. And when he has sufficiently healed, then he will be back through choice. Because they are attracted to the energy. The children are attracted to the energy in here. Unless there is anything else that anyone would like to ask, we may have to step back in the next few minutes. I do hope that you all received something to take home with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thoughts are food and food's for thought. I would like you all to take the next step of your journey with total belief in yourselves. Stand tall and listen to where we are trying to lead you. The people that you are attracted to be the next teacher in your journey. They will not be the last, yet they are important and have a purpose. Even those who judge teach us so much. I send you my love and my regards, and I thank you all for assisting in this experiment tonight. I surround you all in such love and protection, and I bid you farewell for now.
Thank you.
Enjoyed it or got something out of it, or maybe you tuned in today having no idea what you're about to watch, thinking you were going to get a live free reading, and obviously it wasn't that. So for anybody that hasn't experienced trance mediumship before, didn't quite know what was going on, a trance medium is working in an altered state of consciousness. And when I say an altered state of consciousness, it's like in different trance mediums will work in different variations of a trance state. Some people will work in a light state where they are very much aware of what's going on. As you evolve or go through your training or your development in trance, you will become and learn to become much deeper as you become sort of knowledgeable about your guides, the guides that you're working with, the guides that are working with myself, obviously. There is a massive amount of trust that is going on between a trance medium and their guides. Okay. It isn't, depending again on the varying, how can I explain this? The varying stages of altered states or trance. When you are in a lighter state, you tend to be, like I said, be quite present. You are being influenced very much by your guide or the spirit coming through. As you work into a deeper state of trance, you tend to have not so much knowledge or sometimes not at all. Now, watching back tonight, before I answer any of your questions, I will say to you that when I watch this back, I've just watched the whole thing, just like you guys have, and it is like watching somebody else to me. It's very much like watching somebody else. In fact, I found it intriguing myself because some of the information that was coming out of my mouth isn't something I would have considered before, isn't something that I necessarily would have thought or believed, probably because I've never even had that thought pop into my head before. Okay, I'm quite a, as I was watching it, I did laugh when I was called a simple soul. I very much am a simple soul. I very much am who I am. I'm very comfortable with who I am. A bit weird, that's good. So I'm going to have a look at your questions to see what you guys would like to know about trance mediumship. Now, I've just seen this from Sharon Booker Hamilton. So welcome, Sharon, and fabulous NHS banner there. Well done for everything that you do. So, Polly, do you draw on their energy or your own? Although they speak through you, is time out energy they use? Right. Well, when I'm working in trance, they have to use a combination of my energy and their own energy. It has to be a little bit of both, if that makes sense. They're very much blending with my energy so that they can use my energy to work, if that makes sense. So a lot of trance mediums or physical mediums will be very, very tired or can be extremely exhausted after working in this state. When I work, because I'm using sorry, my son called me. When I'm working from a very, very high vibration. Working from a very high vibration, especially that guide that's working through me then. So I tend to be it tends to be a lot of energy, I would say universal energy coming through there as well. So it doesn't drain me quite as much, even though I'm in quite a deep state. It's a very weird thing to experience and a very weird thing to explain. Afterwards, I tend to be buzzing. It's like I've had about 5 hours solid sleep. However, the next day I am absolutely shattered, absolutely exhausted, and I tend to try and do a demonstration of mediumship, of trance mediumship, when I haven't got any work the next day, for the fact that I will be absolutely shattered and often have a stonking headache. So yeah, there is a lot of my own energy that is used here as well. I hope that answered your question, Sharon. Can I remember it? Now, no, I can't. I used to be able to remember it. Excuse me, blowing my nose. I have got hay fever and it hasn't gone away for a month. I'm aware of my guide. So I'm aware that when I'm sitting, I'm breathing down. I very much feel like I'm stepping out of my body and going in a room behind me and shutting the door. So I'm still there. I'm still present. I'm still in control if I need to be, for example. But I don't want to hear it. I don't want to listen to it, because then I can get involved in it and my opinions would come through. Now, with trance mediumship, it's really important that it's not your opinion. It is not your thoughts. It is not your, like, we can all have opinions on things. We can all have beliefs on things, but it's very important that I'm impartial. I'm just like the vessel in this. So I, like I said, step out of my body, step out of the room. and I just let them use my body. I can remember things like, for instance, I might be aware of who's coming in, because it's very important that I trust that energy that is coming in to work with me. If I'm letting something take me over, for example, then I want to be able to trust it. I always say to people, it's like if somebody knocked at your door, would you let them in if you didn't know them? Of course you wouldn't, okay? Not unless you were silly. You might not, that person might be totally trustworthy. They might be a perfectly lovely person. However, they might be a trickster. They might be somebody that we don't like. They might be somebody that's trying to manipulate us in some way. So we have to build up that that bond with our guides, so that we can trust implicitly that information that guide is going to be working in a trustworthy way with us. So that's why I don't remember what is said, because I'm stepping right out of the room, if that makes sense to you. I hope that answered your question, Joe. Right, Lynn, the bar across my knees was to protect my dignity, because I didn't think about what I was wearing before I came on air. Very silly of me. I thought, oh, that's a nice dress. That's all that needs to be said. So yeah, next time, Polly, don't wear the dress. I hope that answered your question. Heidi, is it the same spirits that come through each time? Actually, Heidi, yes and no. When I've done trance demonstrations, and obviously in the recent months we've been videoing the evidence that we have had. However, I've sat in a group with a couple of people for years, working towards where I am now, for years and years, okay, to be able to get to the point that I am at now. Often different spirits will come through in a smaller setting or a smaller group, because in a smaller group, for example, with trusted people that have been sitting with for years, I know that I can let my body, my being, experiment with different guides or different spirits that want to come through, and that's in a very, very safe setting, if that makes sense to you. Now, when I do a demonstration, it tends to be the ones that have something to say or need to teach you in some way, or the ones that are there for whatever reason they're there for, that seem to come on a more regular basis, because they're the speakers, they're the ones that are there to teach you something. It might be quite interesting for some of you that would like, for example, to learn to work in a trance state, to see that in a group atmosphere, because it does show that it's, even when I've been working like this for years, and lots of trance mediums have been working for a long, long time, that they're still learning as well. Okay, I don't think I'm at my pinnacle. I don't think I'm at my peak. They might have other ideas for me, and I just have to trust that that's at some point, when there is another guide that is strong enough to work through me, that's when they will start showing their faces to, like, the general public, for example. So yeah, a little bit like that, really. There's time, I would say, for experimentation in a small group setting with people I trust, and then when you're in, obviously, a larger setting with a lot of people that maybe you don't know, the ones that are there strong, very strong, the ones that like to protect me or coming. I can only say that yes, there possibly could be. I haven't personally experienced a negative energy coming through myself, but then, like I said, I've sat for a long, long time working in this way. However, I have seen tricksters come through other trance mediums, but just as much as I have from people using spirit boards, for example. In fact, more so in people using something like a spirit board. You might call it a Ouija board, some might call it an angel board. They're very much the same thing. I'll explain in that way, and during actually mental mediumship, any spirit that isn't how can I explain this? It's like there's good people and there's not so good people. Okay, there's people that want attention. There's people that aren't necessarily honest, and you could say that they're pretending to be somebody that they're not. It's very much like that with the spirit world. I've been on the spirit board before, where the information has started off making sense and then started not to make sense, and it's made me question. So I will then ask my guides personally, is that the real deal, or is it somebody that shouldn't be here? And they've told me that it's somebody that shouldn't be here, so I've asked my guides to take that spirit away, take it back over. It's very much the same thing again. That's why it's really important. Like I said, I've been sitting for trance for 7-8 years in a group setting. Before that, I was very much being taken into an altered state a lot of the time. I won't work with anything that is sinister. I'm not the sort of person that wants to work in any sort of sinister way, and so I will only attract light. Like I said, in any capacity of mediumship, you can get spirits pretending to be something that they're not. And it's really important that you're very careful when working in this way. And that's very important as well, if you do decide to develop trance mediumship, that you are doing it in an established group setting. Okay, it's okay to do things like sitting in your power, getting to know your guides. That isn't necessarily trance mediumship. That is just learning how to relax, learning how to meditate, learning how to breathe into a deep state. It's perfectly fine to sit in your power and feel your guides coming in and out. Maybe they're giving you messages. Maybe they do this on a daily basis anyway. That's perfectly acceptable. But if you're going to try and learn or develop a skill like trance mediumship, for example, I would always say go to somebody that has got a good name for themselves, somebody that has got a good reputation. If they can't help you, then they'll be able to put you in the right direction of maybe a development group that, or somebody that can help you in this way. It's always imperative, whether you go for a normal like tarot reading, mediumship reading, any sort of discipline around the spiritual area, that you go to people that you trust and that you are taught any sort of mediumship or any sort of spiritual work from the highest. Okay, so the highest energy, the highest good. Yeah, unfortunately, it can happen. The other thing I would say with this is that some people are quite dark. Okay, in again any sort of mediumship, and the darker a person, the more likely they are to be bringing somebody through that isn't very savoury. It's important also that you very much learn, again, in any discipline of mediumship or spiritual work, that you leave your problems out the door. You do not bring them in with you. Your clients don't want it. I don't want it. Lots of other people, working in this way don't want that sort of energy working with them. So the more you can learn to leave your things out the door, the more balanced you are as a person, the more balanced you are in your work, the higher your vibration, the less likely you are to have anything like that happen. I do hope that answers your question, Marguerite. And I love your name. And I love your picture. Just thought I'd say that. Wendy, do you work through your spirit guide in trance? I'm not quite sure what you mean. I would say more that my spirit guide is working through me than me working through my spirit guide, if that makes sense to you. Because I'm like being an open channel for them. So they are very much, I'm inviting them to work through me. Yeah, that's the only way I can put that. I hope that answers your question. were they my guides? The two that came through on that day, I don't really know if you could call William a guide. I actually don't know what you would call William. Um, I've just been told a cheeky little bugger in my ear. Um, Maya definitely a guide, and very, very strong and very influential on even my everyday life. If I need to meditate, I often, or if I have got a problem, for example, I'd maybe come into, this is my little spiritual shed here, and I was asked for advice. Now, it might not be her that gave it to me, it might be a different guide. But I very much know her energy, and she's very strong, very fair, and also makes me see things in a different way sometimes, in a good way. And so she is very guiding towards me. In fact, she has also guided my friends in certain situations. And yeah, William, I just don't know if you could call him a guide. I think he's there, he's present. Does he influence me? Probably, actually, yes, because he's like the little devil on my shoulder, not literally a devil. But I sometimes get that sort of naughty head on, and I feel very much William when that happens. You know, maybe when I need cheering up, maybe when I need to release some energy, he's there. So yeah, I still don't know if he would be in the guide category. Entertainment, maybe, but not guide. Bless him. As well, just quickly, I was just thinking about that. They're very different energies. I mean, if you listen to Maya, which you probably have tonight, she's very deep, very knowledgeable, very. She makes you think. She makes you think outside the box. She makes you think about what's going on. You know, she takes your thoughts further. She makes you think. Whereas William, he doesn't really. He's sort of on a, I would say, a lower vibration, but that doesn't mean that he's bad. Just a lower vibration than Maya, for example. And that's why. Sorry, I'm just going off on one now. And that's why William, when I was watching it, William is more likely to give you a message from a loved one because he's on a lower vibration. Maya's vibration is so high that she would have to come right down to be able to meet that. Her energy is so much higher than William's. He can give messages, whereas she doesn't tend to. In fact, I don't think she ever has. I hope that answers your question. Heidi, how did I discover I could do this? Right, now that's a very interesting question, and I'm really hoping that my friend John O. Webster is on here today. If anyone doesn't know my friend John O. Webster, you really, really should connect with him. He is the most amazing healer, honestly, the most amazing healer I think I've ever experienced. He also does a lot of spiritual attachment work, which is absolutely out of this world. Now, Jono and me go way back, absolutely way back. And he used to sit in trance with a lovely lady called Wendy. And he used to tell me all the stories, and he used to sit for physical mediumship as well. And he used to tell me all the stories, and I used to think, how scary is that? How scary is that to let a spirit potentially possess your body, and then you just let that happen? How can anybody let that happen? And then I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it at all. But then one day he said, Polly, come and watch. So I did. And honestly to God, I think I was terrified. But not because there was anything terrifying happen. I just did not know what to expect. And so I watched. And then they said, right, now it's your turn. And I thought, oh my God, I don't want to do it. It was like telling me to go on like the ultimate roller coaster and the biggest roller coaster in the world with the biggest drop. I'm thinking, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Anyway, I thought, right, okay, I'm going to look really stupid if I don't do it. So I did. And all I remember is feeling like I'd inflated. And they were telling me what to do. They were talking me down into this state of different consciousness. Obviously, I was aware because I didn't want to not be aware. And so they talked me through the process. And the next minute, I felt like a huge man. And I'm not a very big person. I'm about a size 8. And I felt huge. I felt like I was big. I felt like I was fat. I felt like my lips were big. I felt like my nose was all like this, all pulled out. And I thought, what the hell is happening here? And then I felt like I knew I was called Marcus. I remember that. I couldn't give much information. I know that. But because I was so there and present and intrigued, I think I was just taking too much notice of what was going on. But after that, I became a little bit of an addict, I have to say, all right? And I can't, once you've done something like that and it's intrigued you to that point, then you want it, okay? You want to do it. You want that feeling. You want to discover how far this can go. Some people, it would have freaked them out. It did a bit, but it's just one of those things. Like I said, I was in very, very, very trusted company, 2 very, very good trance mediums, who would like mentoring me, and it was the best thing I ever did. And I know it's not everybody's journey, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it really is mine. And out of everything that I do, that is it. It's like the cherry on top of the cake. So it started a long time ago, like I said, and it's evolved and evolved and evolved and evolved, and to the point now that it's just if I could do it all day, every day, I would. I hope that answered your question, Heidi. Hi, Anne. Your Lady Maya that uses you as a vessel, what did she do when she was living, and what century is she from? Thank you. Right, well, from what we have discovered, Maya says she's from the gods and she never had a human life. And because she hasn't had a human life, she doesn't talk about a human life. That's mostly from questioning, from other people questioning, obviously, Maya when I'm in that state. So she's not from a country and she's not from a century. In fact, I think the last but one time we recorded this, she did say, I can't remember how she worded it now. I'll have to look back on it. But it was more like, pardon? Yeah, if you look at not the one that we've just done, there's another trance, another trance that I did. It will be on Spiritual Productions. It's probably a really good idea that you watch it because it will be on there. She explained something about she's an energy, not not a being, if that makes sense. So yeah, William will give me information about where he lived and things like that. So he very much was a walking, talking boy at one point, not like Pinocchio. I think we're keeping Richard up. So, what are the orbs? Well, when you watch it, because like I said, I wasn't aware of any of these orbs because I wasn't aware of what was really going on. But the orbs, if you watch them, a lot of them, because I watched, like I said, that start to finish with you guys. I haven't watched it start to finish that we did that day. A lot of the orbs are coming in when there's either a change of guide or that there's different energies coming forward. When Bobby was there, for example, tonight, we saw like elements of orbs around there. And they're saying about orbs around the head hovering around as being spirits around the medium's head. Now, that's how they've explained them for that night. We have in the studio, and please have a look back through the Spiritual Productions videos where we've sat in the studio after we've maybe done a course or maybe done an evening of mediumship. and have a look, because there's orbs all over the place, flying all over the place. And I feel like it's very much, I mean, some of them you can put down to dust, okay? Some of them might be flies. Now, Richard will be better at telling you this than me, and you might want to write it down, Richard. That when he is filming this, it's however many frames per second or something. I don't know all this information. So it's 15 frames per second, so that we can catch any movement that maybe our eyes can't see. So it depends on the way that they move. Like I said, a lot of people will put things down to dust or put things down to flies maybe, and some of them will be dust and flies. But when they're very specific around the medium, or hovering around the medium, or maybe shooting out of the head or the ear or something like that, and then changing direction, it will very much be the spirit energy leaving the body or maybe going into the body. So it's just like what you're seeing is that orb going towards that medium or coming out of the medium will be it going in or out. So that spirit entering or leaving. So, I mean, like I said, I don't want to say that every single orb, every single thing we see is an orb. It probably isn't, okay? When you see them on paranormal shows, you'll know the difference between flying dust and what seems to be hovering around somebody, or very specific orb. And if you screenshot these orbs, it's very interesting to look into them. Can you see any faces? Can you see any energies or entities within these? You know, have a good look into them. Some of them are fascinating. I hope that answered. Oh, hi Gillian, how are you? If you haven't watched Gillian, look back on tonight's show, the Trance Mediumship. Okay, tomorrow at 8 o'clock, very different than tonight. I will be me. I won't be anyone else. I'm going to be offering live mediumship readings on spiritual production. So if you would like to join us, please do at 8 o'clock tomorrow, spiritual productions, and you may be lucky and get a message from your spirit loved ones. It'd be lovely for you to join us. Does your own soul evolve as you channel? I have no idea, Annette. Let me think. Right, I'm guessing our soul is evolving at every point. Link there where I'm not too there, I'm not too present, I'm not too involved. So by learning this sort of discipline, it actually enhances all of your other spiritual disciplines. But I feel as I'm going through a spiritual life evolving, it, you know, if I look back at myself like 15 years ago, for example, I'm a very different person, very accepting of who I am, love who I am, love what's around me, appreciate nature, appreciate everything. And I feel like I've evolved massively going down my spiritual journey, massively. So I feel like in any spiritual discipline, you're always learning. You're learning to love. You love yourself, love life, love everything around you. So anything that you're doing that is for the power of good is going to help you evolve. I don't think I've even thought about that question before. So Sharon Booker Hamilton, William's energy leaving your body was like a shooting star. It was beautiful to watch. Do you know, I saw that, and obviously I was again very unaware at the time. It is really fascinating, and I find it fascinating how you can see that. You know, and it's at such an obvious time as well. As soon as he leaves, that happens, and it's fascinating. It's almost like, where are you going back to? You know, obviously there's a place for him up there, and he's hanging around waiting for that chance to come through, for example. But he's such a funny soul. I mean, he's as innocent as he's not innocent. He's very funny. Um, and yeah, it is beautiful to watch. I think it's even with the going back to the Bobby situation earlier, when Beverly, bless her, was dragged onto the couch quite unexpectedly, obviously for Beverly. Um, you know, you can see very much orbs and energies around when he's there as well, which fascinated me because I obviously wasn't aware of it. I'm just going to turn my heater down because I'm actually cooking. There we go. So yeah, it was beautiful to watch. I'm so glad that you saw. I'm just having a quick drink. So glad that people saw that as well because it just goes to prove that he's there, that his energy is there, that he can show himself in a way. It's through energy. Gillian's her stepmom. Oh, that's cool. Marguerite. Can a guide return to Earth and birth into a human? I would probably, I mean, there's probably people that are going to argue here with me, and please do if you've got any other opinion. I think it depends on how high the guide is, but I would say that if you've got two guide status, for example, I would probably say that you've got to the point that you're evolved enough not to have to return to Earth. But that's my thought and opinion here. If anyone has another opinion, please, please, please argue it. And I think it, again, if they're very highly evolved or they've got to that point where they've learned, a spirit has learned all the lesson that they need to know, or a soul has learned everything it needs to know, I feel then that why would they need to come back? Why, if they're in guide status, for example, then they're there to help the evolvement of the person they're guiding. Now, I can honestly say that I feel one guide could guide many. I don't think you just have to have a guide and that's your guide. You know, like you have a dog and that's your dog. It's like I feel like they could guide many. Like I said, my guides have come through to my friends before, and they've heard them, felt them. They've felt the knowledge at that time. One of my friends was healing and felt very much my guide Maya around them, and that's brilliant. But I would say that if you got to guide status, I would probably say that you wouldn't need to return to Earth. However, I do feel like guides can come back and be in the right place at the right time in human form for whatever reason they need to be for an amount of time. A bit like you say, like, for example, an angel. Now, there's stories, isn't there, where people have been stuck in the middle of nowhere and then this person came along, changed the tire and disappeared. And then, you know, no one ever knew them, saw them, or somebody had a crash and they felt lifted out of that situation by a human being, but that human being was never found again. And so if an angel can do it, and people believe that an angel can do it, then why can't a guide do it? So, how did William die? I couldn't hear him very well. Right. Well, people have asked William before how he passed away, and he's actually said, I think it was pleurisy, which I think is a lung condition. So he said that he had pleurisy, and that's how he passed, which might explain why his voice is quite strange. Okay, because he does sort of sound like he's smoked about 80 a day. Um, Again, you know, obviously I'm not very aware of that, but when I listen back to it, he does sound like that. So yeah, as far as I know, it was a pleurisy. You might have to Google pleurisy if you don't know what pleurisy is. But I'm Yeah, so it's to do with your chest and having problems with your lungs, probably bronchial as well. So tomorrow night, just remember that I will be on giving a demonstration of mediumship tomorrow at 8 o'clock on Spiritual Production. So please, please, please join us. Invite your friends. Please share because it will be a lovely, lovely evening of giving messages. And I think that everybody needs messages at the moment with some way, shape, or form. And on Saturday Saturday afternoon at 2:30, a conversation with Bex. Now, Bex is very good. I think I'm back. Yeah, I just disappeared for a moment. I've got all fuzzy. Okay, I do apologise. I think oh, I've got all like starry. Look, um, I think Spirit are trying to tell me to be quiet now. They decided that we've had enough. So, yeah, I hope that you all enjoyed watching tonight. I hope you enjoyed or got something out of the evening and learned something, maybe seen something that you've not seen before. If you do feel like there is other people that would like to view it, share it, please tag them in it because it is something lovely to share. There's a lot of knowledge in there. There's a lot of things for people to learn. Oh, I'm just going to read that. James Taylor, all the shows on this channel are amazing. Watching the Trance was something else truly amazing. Oh, thank you, James. That's really lovely. And I'm really glad you enjoyed it. Um, it we've got 4 new shows coming along. Wow, what are these shows? Oh, we've got next week, we've got a professional dream analyst coming on. That'll be interesting because I have some weird dreams. We've got a numerologist coming on, so there'll be a new show about numerology. I do apologise about my picture. Oh, on Wednesday, what time? 2:30. There is with who? Sorry, with Jane. Oh, Janie Morton. Right, Jane Morton, the lovely Jane, is going to be doing a nice little show next week on Wednesday. Um, it's a like chat, put your feet up, enjoy the moment sort of show. So please tune into that. Jane is lovely, really knowledgeable, and she's a psychic counselor and can offer psychic help. That is absolutely amazing. We need something like this, and people have got lots of questions, and it's really, really interesting to ask these questions. Watch as well because hi Matt, lovely to see you, and thank you for my lovely message earlier. Um, yeah, it's really interesting to talk about things, and even if you're scared to ask, somebody will. I love that sort of show where so you've got that burning question, you're a bit embarrassed to ask it, and then somebody else asks that question, and then you get the answer. So watch all these things; they're really, really good. Oh, thank you. You really enjoyed it. You are welcome, and so glad that you joined us tonight. You're welcome, Jane. Jane's lovely. If you look back on the Sunday sofas, Jane had a session with us. It was absolutely brilliant. Heidi, thanks, Polly and Richard. We'll be tuning in tomorrow. Stay safe, both of you. We will. Thank you, and thank you, Annette. Thanks for joining us. Di Redman. I really enjoyed it. Looking forward to tomorrow night. Fabulous. I'm so glad you're going to join us. And if you guys are feeling particularly generous and would like to help Richard and Spiritual Productions, please donate either one up to £5 a month with Spiritual Productions. Press on the Shop Now button to become a patron. If you become a patron, there are lots of lovely perks. All right, you get put on your own page. Some things are only accessible to the patrons. So, and obviously, you know, sometimes with different shows on different days, there may be priority to the patrons as well for free readings. So it really, really is worth it. Okay. Everything that you give us, everything that you put towards Spiritual Productions goes back into Spiritual Productions for new equipment. You know, it's totally non-profit. Nobody gets any of the money. It goes straight back into Spiritual Productions to help with the service, the equipment, and everything else that we need to make this happen for you guys. And we so appreciate everyone that's already a patron. Thank you so much, and all of you regulars are on here as well. Thank you so much for always supporting us. So please, if you can donate, it is just as little as £1 up to £5 a month. Joe, you are very welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. And so if you would like to, again, just quick say one more time, please join us tomorrow at 8 o'clock for some messages from Spirit. And it would be lovely, lovely, lovely to see you all. Spread the message, spread the love, spread Spiritual Productions around, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining us this evening. Bye.